Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be kind of a special treat for you guys. It's going to be Nalra versus Midas here on Nostalgia. Got this replay from RJB. He supplies me with excellent replays. Go ahead and subscribe to him on his YouTube channel. Just search RJB TV. He likes fastest maps. So, if you like fastest map as well, maybe that is a good place for you. Tell him Falcon sent you. Alright, so top right hand corner we have one of the three kings. It is Nalra, a green Protoss player. And in the bottom right we have a teal Terran player. It is Midas. Alright, should be excellent here. Nalra, again, one of the three kings. Wikipedia calls him the most influential and successful of the three. And most famous as well, I feel like. So, Nalra. This is a 2019 replay. I didn't realize that Nalra was playing until 2019, but RJB corrected me of that assumption. And Midas here is an excellent Terran player who started his career around 2003 or 2004. Still playing today, still getting results in tournaments in the year 2020. No results in tournaments in 2021 yet, but I just feel like it's a matter of time. Midas is very famous for his awkward celebrations when he wins things and terse interviews and... Anyway, good stuff. Wikipedia also says that Nalra here is also called the Dreamer because in the middle of games sometimes it seems like he is seized upon by an inspiration and changes his playstyle and wins with it. So, we will see in this PVT. Again, PVT fans, thank RJB for this replay. I am very excited to cast it. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be so good. We have some people watching here. I don't know who they are, but they're not being loud, so I appreciate that from them. Cybercore opening after Gateway. We are going to try to pressure here on Nostalgia. Actually, what the heck is this map? I've never actually cast a game on this map before, I realized just now. So let's take a look. This is Nostalgia. I don't know if it's because it's like some older maps, but... we've got these 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock expansions. Yeah, this is... I don't know. Is there anything crazy about this compared to other maps? Okay, so this is interesting. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock have, you know, gas minerals. It's nice. You can kind of wall off this choke, but you also have to worry about this ramp, which gives your opponent access from a different area. They can set up tanks here. They can't quite hit your base if you're down here, I don't think, from this high position, but they can threaten you, pull back to high tank position. So I feel like Terran's going to like this map quite a bit if, yeah, if I had to make a guess here. Also, hold up. Is your expansion minerals only? Maybe that's what's nostalgic about this, too. Minerals only expansion? Weird maps, man. We gotta love the weird maps when they show up. I gotta tell you that. We got Dr. Stillwell here. There's a diner right next door. Hopefully, nobody will be leaving the diner and get caught in the crossfire between these two amazing players. Yeah, I'm stoked for this. Alright, so, no gas at your natural. I wonder if that means we're going to see players try to take bases further away from their main than they normally would. SCV scouting out to see what's going on. Probe doing the same thing. SCV is lucky, Probe is unlucky. Based on the scouting patterns here, but everything's going to be just fine regardless. SCV coming on up and says, Hola, mi amo SCV. And the Dragoon says, I'm blocking the ramp and I'm going to shoot you in the face, so get out of here. Lest you want to die, fool. And yeah, we're just going to expand down here. After factory. God, it must be... I guess maybe you bunker here if you're worried about Dragoon pressure. I don't know. Or here is a good spot too, but look at all this area down this side you have to worry about. I guess that's where you bunker and just try to cover the sides as well as you can. This is dicey for Terran in the early game, but... Again, I feel like once there are tanks up, it's better for the Terran. So this is a bit of a longer macro game. I feel like Midas has an advantage on the map type and the map style here, but Nalra is the better player overall in the past, right? This is a 2019 match. I mean, obviously Nalra is not winning ASLs or anything, so not quite on top of the world, but still pretty fantastic player. Is this an attempted quick third? Look at this. So Natural coming in, Vulture being annoying. Dragoon trying to block him out does do a great job with it. Great micro! Nalra, you beast! Takes it down. See, and this is, well, the other problem is range is done. Repair? Repair the bunker. There we go. Had to finish up the command center. Gonna repair the bunker. Gonna throw down spider mines back here so the Dragoon has to get out. And doesn't actually. So Nalra makes up for some amazing micro with some kind of bad micro there. Unfortunately. But Terran stays alive. Doesn't lose the natural base, which is great news. Natural base coming up quite nicely for the Protoss. And again, it looks like wants to take a quick third here, which against a Protoss, or against a Terran rather, you probably want to do. We talk about this a lot with PVTs, man. Where do you want to expand? What are your timings to expand? Protoss needs to have more bases than the Terran because Terran's going to be more cost efficient. Tanks are just really good against Dragoons. Dragoons are the backbone of the army by necessity. For the Protoss, it's a tough situation at times. Robotics facility coming up, another gateway here too. Ooh, interesting. I mean, I don't feel like this is fast Reaver or anything because there is an expansion here. Oh, see what I'm talking about. Oh, right. You can take this additional... Man, all the bases have additional attack paths. This is what's really frustrating stuff. Maybe that's what they mean by naming the map Nostalgia, is nostalgia for times when maps were kind of bad for everybody. I kind of love it. I do. This is interesting. It makes the early game interesting. You usually don't see this kind of Dragoon harass at 6.5 minutes against a Terran. They just kind of wall off the front, and you really can't do much about it. But this extra attack area makes it easier. That's incredible. Vulture speed coming in before siege mode. Interesting choice, and there's that third base. I kind of feel like Nalra would probably want to go for yet another base if he feels like he can get away with it here. Unless he's just trying to win sooner than I believe he is. Because quick third indicates we're not trying to win this thing today. Oh, no, I mean, we are today, but not super fast. Oh, look at the pylon block there. And a pylon block here. What a creative and excellent way to solve the problem of the multiple attack paths into your third here. Genius. I like it. I like it a lot. Meanwhile, Midas is making more factories, because what else are you going to do in your life other than produce factories when you're going up against Nalra? I'm trying to kick this stupid sickness. There were, 3 or 4 days where I didn't have a voice, and then it came back, and I'm still just a little bit sniffly. I've been a little bit sniffly every day for 4 days now. I'm getting sick of it. I'd like to just get over this thing entirely, if at all possible, but whatever. I mean, I don't have any loss of smell or loss of taste. It's just, I feel fine, except I'm a little congested. It's the weirdest thing. I feel fine otherwise. I've got energy levels and stuff, but... Bodies are misterioso, that is for sure. Alright, no upgrades yet. For either player, it's a little bit early for that. Vultures are like, 2 pylons, our worst enemies. We are going to get through the shields real fast, and if you give us enough time, we'll get through this hole as well. We will. Observer comes in, sees what's what. Recognizes, okay, pretty good defense force here. Oh, probe dies. Actually throws up a gateway to prevent these vultures from getting through, but it doesn't work! Oh no, it doesn't work! And the vultures taking the time to throw down spider mines so that the Dragoons can't engage here, and oh my gosh, the probe massacre. Okay, so Midas doing some excellent stuff here. Actually managing to punish a quick third base of a Protoss player as good as Nalra is. This dude, seriously impressive display here out of Midas. Alright, so vultures, the bane of Protoss existence, man. Talk to any Protoss, they will hate vultures, and they will hate tanks, obviously, but it's kind of a two-part thing. Vultures again from Midas. Like, you really can't wall off your natural base at all, can you? No, you can't. So we're just going to sneak on over, just wander past you, throw up some spider mines, force a lot of probes to evacuate, kill some of those. Nalra's down to 39 workers right now. Some really effective harassment out of these vultures today. I'm really impressed with Midas for someone I'm not sure that I've cast before, which says a lot because I've cast a whole bunch of StarCraft Brood Wars games on my channel. Aha, this is where the vultures discover we've been locked out, boys. They've discriminated against us, which is true. That's a funny fact about the word discrimination, is discrimination can also apply to valid reasons for discriminating. Like, it could be dumb reasons, like skin color. But you can discriminate against someone because of, like, their propensity for violence. And that's fine. It's legitimate discrimination. Fun, huh? Learning things with Falcon. Discrimination is not always bad. Sometimes it's very bad, but it's not always bad. Additional gateways on the way. Stargate Observer. Cool, cool. Going for them Arbiter Techs is the Nalra. Just kidding, Fleet Beacon. Just kidding. We're going for carriers. Oh boy. All the Terrans in chat just went, oh, carriers, no. And their souls melted out of their bodies a little bit. Boy, do they hate carriers. All right. So 6 o'clock position. Oh, come back. Sorry. Being taken here by Midas. I thought something was missing. Little congested. Little brain addled. It's all just me. I'm normally very kind of dumb anyway, but being sick does not help at all. Man, he's really committing to this large Dragoon Zealot army and then very sneakily transitioning into carriers out here. Is there really enough vultures for this? With spider mines, all things are possible. Ow. Absorbing the hits for all Dragoons everywhere, sacrificing. Nice. 7-kill Dragoon, not shabby. Oh, 1 vulture makes it out alive. Observer sees a 4th base from the Terran. That's bad. Oh, no. Wait, no, 3rd base. This is the 3rd base. 3rd base from the Terran, 3 bases from Nalra. I would love to see a 4th base here out of Nalra, but maybe while the carriers are wreaking havoc on the other side of the map, he can expand, because there are no vulture or no Goliaths. Ooh, there we go. Karam boosters just getting started. Clearing out them spider mines in the middle of the map. Expansion left side. Something, I don't know, it's a little bit sneaky. Like, the vulture is waiting for the expansion up here, which would make sense based on the expansion pattern, or this one. So he just kind of expands over this way instead. But Goliath production has begun, and he's still making vultures. We'll see. He knows. I think he knows, right? That there's carriers on the way. I'm fairly sure he's scanned. We have heard pretty consistent scanning here. So I would not be shocked to see... He's not making tanks. Like, against this many Dragoons, if you're not still producing tanks, you're in a lot of trouble if your opponent continues to produce Dragoons, right? But that's not what we are seeing here. Not at all. Yeah, been a while since we've seen carriers in a PvT. I think the last one was Idra getting real mad about carriers on Colosseum or some kind of a map. Good engagement top side, good engagement left side. Kind of loving this out of Midas. The tanks are sieging up. Not all of them, though, which is a little bit strange here from Midas. A little bit strange. But yeah, Goliaths and vultures, man. No tanks being produced at all. He knows the time of the tank is pretty much in the past at this stage, unless you can get places where the carriers are not. Which you can sort of do. Tanks are not zippy, but they are, I think, faster than carriers, technically. Ah, someone needs to fact check that for me. Need a fact checker. Good Dragoon control from Nalra here, too. Zealot's trying to wander in, not having a good time. Yeah, I mean, he's been scanning pretty hard today, right? He knows. He just knows. He's making 6 Goliaths at a time. You don't make 6 Goliaths at a time unless your opponent is making carriers. So yeah, Terran players, one of your biggest jobs in TVPs is figuring out if carriers have been transitioned to. If they have, and you don't know, you're probably just going to outright die. And that's probably happened to every Terran player in the world at some point. It's kind of like, oh, did I prepare it all for Dark Templar? No, here they are, and I'm dead. Everyone has that feel, you know? Protoss, Terran, and Zerg alike. Bottom left-hand base coming up quite nicely here for Midas. I like his expansion patterns. I do. I think he's... I'm going to say he's ahead right now. I mean, base count is fantastic for a Terran player. He didn't just sit around until 180 supply before moving out. He's kind of taking the middle of the map here, trying to get some value out of his tanks. The carriers are hiding. Or they were. They're moving out now for their big reveal. which Midas is already aware of, obviously. This would be a shorter game if they really caught Midas by surprise, right? Or does he has siege, just siege up. Good heavens. There we go. Better maneuver. Just kind of moving down here as Midas. You don't get missile turrets. You don't get tanks. Either. Deal with it. Yeah, so this is Midas going like fine. The tanks are gone. These tanks are alive, and I think they're going to take down this Nexus. They got +2 attack and everything. Because again, the Goliaths share the upgrades, but anyway. Ooh, Goliaths on a mission from Midas. Try to get into the bodies. The carriers are exposed. There's nowhere they can hide here. But Spider Mine's causing problems for the leading zealots. He came over here to try to save the Nexus. Did not work out in the end, unfortunately. So the tanks die for their sins of killing that Nexus. They might come down here to the bottom left base, where there are 3 turrets and absolutely nothing else that can stop carriers. So this base is in a lot of trouble. That shorthand for this base is going to die. I don't think we're saving it, man. There's 3 turrets here. He's trying to prepare for the onslaught, trying to prepare for the cataclysm that is coming upon him. But no. Not happening today, boys. Kind of surprised he's still letting these turrets stay up. He's focusing a little bit on the SCVs. Wow, the base is saved because a handful of Goliaths managed to make it over here, and the carriers are not really focusing too hard on those turrets. I guess maybe trying to deal with these carriers wandering around. Be so careful about where you're wandering, though, guys. Oh, no. Taking the hits. Coming from the top side at the same time. I can zoom. To see what's going on here. Carriers are retreating back to the Dragoons. It is a symbiotic relationship here. Also, carriers now wandering into the 6 o'clock base, which has 4 turrets at it, which is better than 3. Numbers, I can do that kind of math, you guys. So none of the carriers have died, which is nice, out of Midas. Casually trying to kill the bottom left base again. Enough, man. There are a lot of turrets here, though. Are there enough to hold off these carriers by themselves? The answer, I'm guessing, is no. Oh, look at that. Carriers retreating. Templar Archives on the way, just pumping a ton of Goliaths all the time. They have +2 attack upgrades and +1 armor. Center still kind of being held here by Midas just a little bit. Carriers again at the 6 o'clock, and then when the Goliaths arrive, they just peel off. Head bottom left again? I don't know. That's a lot of turrets there. Oh, crap. Goliaths got distracted by the shiny interceptors and did not take down one of these carriers, which I feel like they could have done. But they will get distracted if you don't tell them to hit the body of the carrier. So expanding here, and kind of expanding up here, where there's a spider mine in the way, which is really frustrating to deal with. DT's coming in, and Storm on the way. So interesting. Storm to augment the carriers. Unless, are we done with carriers is the question. We have 6, I believe. Hang on. 8 plus... So it's 8 total. 8 carriers, I believe. And that seems to be it. Are we done with carriers? Would be interesting if he was done with carriers in 19 minutes. Like, usually, if you have 8 carriers, you're just going to make more. But today, it seems like Nalra is kind of switching it up a little bit. Going for Storm, going for Dark Templar. Is using the DTs as DTs, or are they going to become a Dark Archon? That'd be fun. Not super a lot of utility versus Terran, but also not bad. Yeah, I like the Dragoons in here, and it forces the Terran to build a couple Couple siege tanks to help deal with the Dragoons, because Goliaths aren't super good against them. They're fine. I mean, they don't die straight up, cost for cost. But, oh my gosh, Vultures, again, just a thorn in Nalra's side today. For 20 minutes. Look how annoying this has been. All right, so, my goodness. I think Midas have this game won. Midas might have this game won. I assume Nalra would retake this, but he hasn't. I think we have enough Goliaths and, like, general missile turrets to handle carriers, but look at this. 3 total bases for Nalra, trying to expand here, but not going very well. Trying to expand here, that might work out. Whereas Midas is happily on 4. Which allows him the resources to build 1,000,000 missile turrets at these bases. And just have a grand old time. Dragoons, there we go. They're like, ah, this base is very vulnerable to a Dragoon attack. A couple, ooh, Nalra, hey. Couple tanks are not enough to stop us from destroying everything down here. This is turning into a good game. I'm going to say, this is turning into a pretty fantastic game. Bottom left base, the Dragoon transition has caught Midas by surprise, I believe. He's still getting air weapons, though. Production tab is like Kadarin Amulet. That's pretty much it. SCV is just working as long as they can, knowing that their time is short on this Earth, but bringing as much money back to the Terran Collective as they possibly can. So it gets knocked down to 3 bases. This is, my goodness, remember when I was like, Midas is in a great spot, suddenly he's in a bad spot. That's how things can flip in these games. It's the same thing with ball sports games. That's why I like basketball, football. I like watching baseball in the October times, but anyway, the point is, esports and ball sports are all fantastic for the competition. That's what I like about them. What I like about that... Where did my carriers go? They didn't all die, did they? I'm realizing all of a sudden... No, they're right. Some of them are right here. Others are right here. 5, 6. Maybe 1 died. Alright, that's fair. 1 carrier down seems like a fair trade. So this base is going to try to come up again. That is a lot of Goliaths. With better upgrades than you have, too. And outnumbering you wholeheartedly. Remember when I was like, Goliaths are pretty good against Dragoons? I remember. I said that once. I don't know why I'm Southern all of a sudden. Kind of generically Southern. I don't think that's any particular part of the South. Still hasn't expanded up here. Midas is actually floating a bunch of minerals, which, I don't know, more turrets, I guess? Probably wouldn't be a bad thing to have more turrets going. Now I kind of feel like Midas is doing all right. That is a lot of +3 Goliaths with +2 armor. Like, a lot. Carriers are at +2 attack. They're working on +3. They don't have shields or armor plating at all. And yeah, this base has 1 cannon defending it. It doesn't even take a lot of committal for Midas to kill this base. Not a lot at all. He's like, I was going to say, he's not even bothering to siege his tanks. That's how embarrassing this is. I think the Vultures could get down here and kill these probes fast. Is this getting an epic tag? I'm feeling a little bit excited for it. 121 to 177 supply. Midas has a massive lead. He can handle these carriers, assuming the carriers are dumb enough to directly engage with him, which they're not. Also, this base being in trouble is a huge deal. Ugh, losing that refinery sucked. It's a fast rebuild, but it still sucks. But Nalra just lost a Nexus. If this base goes down, Nalra will not have income and not have money to replace the interceptors that die. So this base staying alive needs to be Nalra's entire focus right now. If he could have killed this and protected this, it'd be awesome. This is, I feel like a final confrontation is coming upon us. As both green players, I'm sorry if you're colorblind and this is ruining you. You can't tell what's going on the minimap, I get ya. It's bad enough even if you're not colorblind. So the cannons are going down real fast. The carriers win the race because the Goliaths aren't as fast. And they can't fly over water. But suddenly, oh, the carriers have to engage with this. They can't just fly off and let this die. I mean, this base is coming up at the top left spawn, but... He's trying. He hasn't lost another carrier yet. I think there were DTs in there, but then suddenly I heard a scan and they're gone. Would be my guess. So I think Midas has just won this game, being on 1 base of income, but knocking Nalra down to 0 bases of income. Again, forced to use the carriers in a way which is a lot more risky and opens them to more hits. Trying to stay on the high ground and out of vision as much as Protosly possible, but sometimes that's just not a thing. And vultures are largely responsible for killing this Nexus. So, yeah, that's it. That's your GG. Not enough money to rebuild a Nexus up here. Did he cancel that? I think he canceled that. Maybe to make more interceptors, because there are 7 on the way. That's it, though. Like, we're done. Income is kaput. He's mined out everywhere. Midas still mining anemically on 1 base is better than 0% mining anywhere, and trying to retake the bottom left, too, is Midas. That's it, man. Nalra has left the game. Holy smokes, Midas comes out on top here in 25 minutes and 59 seconds. What an absolutely fantastic display of Terran there, even against the dreaded and the hated carriers. Absolutely, I'm so impressed by that. I did not think Midas was going to win this game, but he was able to expand a couple times, or a lot of Terrans would not. He was able to push out where Terrans would not. He was able to get this base up and running, get 1 million turrets on it, save it from carrier death, although the Dragoons were a problem, and then just turn on the gas, pump out 1 million Goliaths, spend all the money that he was getting really effectively. And he just, in the direct confrontation, there were not enough carriers, and I don't even know how many carriers you need to handle this many Goliaths. Like, the many, many Goliaths that are running around on the map right now. It's gotta be at least 12, probably more. But, yeah. Nalra not replacing this base was a problem. Wait, hold on. No. Where was that base? This base? This base was a problem? The minerals go away when the game is over. It's very strange. And this base dying was also a huge problem. Just fantastic aggressiveness, map awareness, harassment. The early vulture harassment was fantastic. Same thing from the Protoss, though. Nalra's harassment was good. But then when it came right down to it, the carriers did not do as much damage as they needed to do. They're very expensive. They take a long time to make. They're very good, but they also need to get stuff done to be worth it. And they didn't. They didn't today for whatever reason. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate display there from Nalra, but you can't win them all. So, Terran fans, you get your win here today against a pretty amazing Protoss. So maybe I should cast more Midas games is what I'm learning here. Maybe Midas from like, where? From 4, 5, 6 years ago, maybe? Would that be fun? All right. Well, good stuff. That was amazing. Good job, Midas, Nalra. Good fight here, too, from this 2019 match, but too much Terran, too many Goliaths, too good control, and good macro abilities and harassment, and it all just came together for Midas. 174,000 points for Midas, 168,000 for Nalra. Production's about the same. Killing is a little bit more for Midas, losing a little bit more for Nalra. Tracks that way, but 55... Wow, 55 buildings killed for the Terran. I guess a lot of that is missile turrets, which isn't, like, super game-changing, but still hurts. And then if this is what it looks like on your income tab as a Protoss, you probably lost. Again, you need to out-expand the Terran. On some maps it's harder than others, but you just need to be on at least 1, preferably 2 bases more than the Terran player, or else he will just out-cost-effective you to death. Goliaths with their range, tanks with their range, they just get hits off without having to worry about it too much in the long run, you know what I mean? Anyway. Fantastic. That was a lot of a fun game. And that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another StarCraft Brood War Remastered cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you heard and what you saw today. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.